Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name's Mark Love, and today I'm going to be showing you a coach that just arrived. We have a 2023 Newmar Essex here. This is the 4551 floor plan. They made a few nice changes on the Essex for 2023. We'll talk about those as we go around. One of them, of course, they put on new front caps and rear caps, and they've got some brighter headlights for 2023. Made a few changes on the back panel also. Let's just go ahead and walk around the outside, check out the compartments, and then we'll go in and look at the floor plan. For starters, on all of these Newmars, they have a heavy-duty grab handle, and I find this is becoming more important the older I get, helping me up. You do have a keyless entry with a doorbell here. And also, a couple of things you'll see as you walk around. There are 6 of these sensors. Those have to do with your blind spot monitoring, active cruise control, your lane assist, all of that, safety enhancements. And also right here, we've got a holder for a flagpole, and you get a little bracket that you can put your college colors in or whatever you want. Make sure it's Michigan if you're contacting me, please. As we move down the side, one of the things I always like to point out on the Newmars, they go a step farther in making a safer motorhome. And one of the things they do is right here. What you're hearing is a steel plate that protects your fuel line here. So you can imagine if you're going down the road and you hit something in the road, you blow this tire and it starts to shred, the damage that it can do inside. Newmar is one of the few companies that actually protect that fuel line with a steel plate. Okay, as we go down the line, one thing about the Essex is they now have the push-button compartment doors and soft close similar to the King Airs. We look in this first compartment, and we get our Dometic refrigerator freezer. And this tray pulls out a long way, so you can actually get these doors all the way open. They don't interfere with the slide. You can set this one half on a refrigerator and the other half on a freezer if you want to keep drinks on one side and maybe frozen meat on the other. But a nice feature for anybody that's spending a lot of time on the road. Another nice thing that they did, this actually happened a couple of years ago, is they added the shelf right here. Now this shelf actually is the height of the bottom of your chassis rails, and you'll see in the other compartments why that makes sense, but it just gives you some extra storage right here. Come to the second compartment, and we have a pull-out tray, and this is actually an electric tray. It'll come out either side. And again, you can see they put that shelf there. Let me point it out in this compartment a little better. So if I'm storing stuff on that tray in Tupperware or whatever the bins are, it can only be as high as the bottom of your chassis rails in there. So it doesn't do much good to leave that compartment all the way up to the floor if you can't use it. So that's one of the reasons I like this tray. It gives you usable storage space that's easy to access. And while we're here, let's talk about the Star Foundation a little bit. The Star Foundation is a steel superstructure that Newmar welds onto the chassis, and this is a Spartin K3 chassis, by the way. What it does, you can see all these members here. They gusset it down at an angle. They support the outside of your storage compartments, and it just makes it a much more rigid platform, so there's going to be less twisting and tweaking going on. You're not going to be cracking tiles or popping your grout out, and it makes for a more comfortable driving experience because you've got a more stable platform. STAR, by the way, stands for strong, true, and robust. And you've heard me talk quite a bit in earlier videos about Newmar's slogan, when you know the difference. And as you get to look at these more and more, it really starts to make sense that Newmar does some things different than other companies, and it really does make for a better motorhome. Okay, in this compartment, I like the fact that they didn't put a slide out tray here. Those trays take up a couple inches in height. They take up room on the side. This is only about a 2/3 or 3/4 pass through anyway because of our Oasis on the back. And it just gives you a lot of room here. So if you do have taller items, you've got room to get them in here. Also, you can see we've got some extra floor tiles there. Most every compartment is going to have a 110 outlet, and they all have LED lights. So when you open one compartment door, those LEDs turn on. And then you can see right here, we've got our central vac system. The hoses can be brought outside, and you can vacuum out your storage compartments from right here. Okay, let's move on back. Now this compartment, it's got the pegboard and a rack there. Behind that is your water tank, so there's no room for storage. But this is nice for, you know, oils or fluids you might want to carry with you. You know, anything that maybe you don't want to bring inside, it's a little dirty or a little greasy. Great place to store it right there. And again, you see these LED lights come on automatically whenever you open any one of the doors. We have another one of our sensors here, our road sensors for your safety enhancements, and also some recessed docking lights, which are nice if you're loading up at night. Now this is a 45-foot, as I said, K3 chassis. The 45-footers with the tag axle have a steerable tag axle. You can see the difference in the hubs on these wheels. Tells me that this one's a steerable tag axle, and I think the Spartans are 12 or 14 degrees is what it'll cant when you're backing up. So as you're pulling into a tight spot at an RV park or have to make a real tight U-turn, this really cuts down on the turning radius at slow speeds. Okay, right here we've got another compartment, and this holds our DEF tank. Now both the DEF and the fuel, you can fill from either side, which is a nice feature. And that'll be a 15-gallon DEF tank. You've got 150 gallons of fuel on this. Another thing that is unique to the Spartin chassis, you can see right here, there is a way you can air up your suspension if you lose your compressor or something. You can manually air up your airbags right there, which is kind of a unique feature to the Spartin. And then back in this last compartment, you can see we've got our chassis batteries, our master disconnects for the chassis, and they also give us access to your air dryer and your fuel filter. Makes it really easy if you're doing your own maintenance to change them out yourself. Another thing while we're right here, I want to talk about the flush wall slides. Now this is actually your emergency exit in the bathroom, but it's built the same as the slides, and you can see how it tucks inside the frame, as opposed to having a fascia that overlaps like this. Something like this, as you're driving, wind and rain and weather can get driven in around that seal, and it's more likely to leak. With the flush wall slides, actually it's a better seal, but it also makes for a quieter ride. They have found that a good portion of the noise inside is from the air coming around your slide outs, your doors, and so forth. So having these flush wall slides cuts down on that air noise. Okay, let's move around back. Again, one more sensor here for our lane assist. And as you can see, the K3 605. So this is a 605 horse Cummins. It has 1,950 foot-pounds of torque. You're rated to tow 20,000 pounds here. We've got our 2.5-inch receiver, and it also comes with a hookup for a camera. If you're pulling a stacker trailer, you might have an auxiliary camera on the back. And over here, we're set up with our Kurt Spectrum brake controller. So if you're towing a vehicle and using like an Air Force One, which is a very common brake system, you're all set up to tie into it right there. So looking at the engine compartment, there's a big red right there. This is about the largest engine you're gonna find in a motorhome. It's a 15-liter, 605 horse. The nice thing about having your side radiators is how easy it is to access what you need to get to here. Your transmission fluid, your engine oil fill, you've got coolant over here. You've got a air chuck for tapping into your air compressor right here. We also have a little gauge. This tells us how dirty our air filter is getting, and it makes it easy to access and change if you're the kind of person that likes to do that work yourself. Your Oasis fluid is right here. Spartin just does a great job making everything accessible on these big motors. They also put a new rear cap on. One of the things they did is they moved that center Cyclops brake light up higher. So if you are pulling a trailer or a vehicle, it's easier for people behind you to see that brake light. And then again, you can see one of our cameras. We have cameras all the way around and a 360 camera system inside. Okay, let's move over on the shady side for a little while. As you can see, we've got the side radiator. Side radiators are bigger. They cool better because of the way the air flows. So when you're pulling that heavy load up Eisenhower Pass or Vail Pass, you're not going to overheat the engine. Get another depth fill on this side. And then this is just a little storage compartment for gloves, or if you've got, you know, the old-fashioned sewer hose, you could put it in there. This one is equipped with a macerator system. And let's go ahead and take a look at our water compartment right now. So one of the things when you get to the Essex level is you get this ManaBlock system. It's a manifold for your water system, and as you can see, everything has a cold and a hot water line, your exterior faucet, shower, right there, your lavatory, your washer dryer. Let's say you've got a leak in your bathroom or your washer dryer is leaking. You can actually shut the water off to that component and use the rest of the coach without having to worry about taking it in for service immediately. Also down here we have a power water hose reel. It's manual out, power back in. As you can see, we've got electric dump valves. Those are right up here to open and close your black and gray valves. And this is equipped with the macerator, like I said. The nice thing about a macerator is you're actually chewing up that solid waste and pumping it out. So you can pump it uphill if you need to. And then, like I said, you can still drain it the old-fashioned way with the gravity fill if you choose to do that. Then another unique feature, and this might be kind of hard to see right here, but on this monitor, it gives us our water levels, lights, gensets, so forth, but you see this tilt. And what I can do, when I tilt this, as I'm draining my coach, my airbags actually are tilting. So the stuff in your black and gray tank are going to, let me cancel that, are actually going to tilt and help it drain more completely. Kind of a unique feature there. You get that on the Essex and the King Airs. Also, we have our gray tank washout and our black tank washout right here. There's a switch for your Sanacon. You have your low-point drains for both your rinses and your hot and cold water lines right here. Whole house water filter. We have a water tap right here. Just everything very well planned out, labeled well, easy to access, and a very clean looking compartment. You even got to have a place here for paper towels. Okay, as we move over to this next compartment, we've got our 50 amp power rewind. And again, these are manual out and then power back in. And they move the switch out here on the door, which makes it a little bit easier to access. We also have our crossover switch with our surge protector in there. Have a place if you're you know, someplace that has park cable or a portable satellite, you can bring it in right there. We also have a plug here, a 30 amp plug. You can run this down and out to your stacker trailer, or maybe you've got a race car hauler and you're doing work out there in the middle of the night. You've got power that you can tap into right there. Normally, I would show these compartments with the slide outs in because it's hard to get down low, but because of the height of the Essex, it's pretty easy to get into these actually. There you can see our Oasis system. This is our hydronic heating system. It provides your hot water, your furnace, engine preheat, and so forth. And the nice thing about the Oasis is you have 2 electric elements and 1 diesel element, so you can heat your water up faster, heat your coach up faster on the cold days. And then back here is the back side of our full slide out. And again, you can see the convenience of mounting these buttons on the compartment door. Makes it a lot easier to get in and out. This has the stainless steel trim along the baggage doors, gives it a really nice look. Also helps protect that if you happen to scratch it up or ding it. You can replace one of those panels and not have to worry about repainting a compartment door. This is the back side of the smaller slide out tray. And then over here, we see our batteries. Now, this has got the lithium batteries, and they're 320 amp hours each. And as you can see, there is actually room for a third battery. So you could have a total of 960 amp hours of power, and you get an extra inverter. So you've got dual 3,000 watt inverters. One of those is dedicated to your center air conditioner, so you can actually run your AC off your battery power on one of those inverters. And it's nice you don't have to slam them. They have that soft close feature. And then again, over on this side, another fuel fill, and just like the other side, you've got that steel plate protecting your gas line. And then this final compartment, we have a lot of our chassis components here and fuses. Do get some spare fuses here. And this has the 12.5 generator, and it is on a electric slide out. Oh, excuse me, I have to have the ignition on to get that out. But that's a 12,500 watt diesel generator that powers the 3 air conditioners. And then again, one more of your sensors for your blind spot monitoring and so forth. And then you can see up front, this has got your active cruise control. So as you come up on slower traffic, it's going to slow you down. It's going to give you warnings. Just one of the safety features all the high-end Newmars have. Let's go ahead and take a look inside, get a look at the floor plan. Anytime you see the 3 steps, and this is a hydraulic step going up, it kind of tips you off that it's the big engine. These, the London Air, Essex, and King Air all have that feature. Okay, here we are in the 4551. This is the Hepburn interior, and it's got the sable maple cabinetries, and I have to admit I'm kind of warming up to these. This has the high gloss finish, and a lot of times the dark cabinets, 8-10 years ago, everything was dark, and now when you pair it with the lighter furniture, the lighter countertops, backsplashes, the dark cabinets kind of make a nice contrast, and I'm really warming up to this high gloss finish we have here. Okay, let's take a look around the floor plan and the storage a little bit. Over here on the passenger side, we have some storage compartments overhead. Now this middle one typically is reserved sort of for your video components. And another nice thing about this floor plan, there are 2 couches, and the one behind the driver's seat is a full pullout, but this is also a jackknife couch. So if you do have extra guests, you know, you could put somebody here or a couple of kids. You also have a full queen pullout over here on the other side. So, you know, potentially you could sleep 6 people here without any problem. You do have a couple of seat belts here, 3 of them over on this side. You can see our televator right there. Now this is on a televator. If I get into my systems here, there we go. I'll go ahead and drop that down. You see I've got all of the shades. The day shades are down. It gets pretty hot here in Colorado. And we're actually, you can feel the AC. We're running it off our batteries right now. We don't have our generator running. Okay, over across from your small couch, we have our big couch. There's a nice ottoman here with some great storage. And I'll go ahead and show you this pull-out. Bear with me. It takes a few minutes to move all your pillows and cushions and everything. Okay. Make sure I get it released. Anybody who's watched some of my old videos has seen me struggle with this. There we go. So one of the things that make this a little bit unique is you actually sleep north and south on this one. And with the smaller couch open, you've got enough room to pass through here, so they're not butted up end to end. Very easy to set this up. Comfortable mattress. Putting it back is just as fast. There we go. I suppose if you did have guests and use them both couches, you could put these cushions up on the front seats, get them out of your way. Okay, bear with me here. Oops. Get that one up. There we go, just that easy. Now, another feature, well, I guess I got this one backwards. Let me. There we go. Another feature I'll show you at the end, it's called theater mode. And when I'm ready to sit down and watch TV at night, I'm gonna sit on the couch, put my feet up, hit my theater mode, all my blinds come down, the lights go off, the TV pops up, makes for a nice TV viewing. Okay, another thing I didn't point out yet, let me go ahead and put these shades up. Get into our shades. So, dinette. Let's get a couple of these up. There we go. Now what I wanted to point out is the Essex now has the bonded windows. This is the same thing that the King Airs have. Also the New Airs have this product. These bonded windows actually go all the way to the corner and become part of the frame. So they're huge. They're more like a bus than what you would see in a typical diesel motorhome. There is an option to put a bank of cabinets in here if you want, but a lot of times we'll leave them out just because of the view you get and the size of these windows. So the Essex, King Air, and New Air are the three coaches where you have that option. Now, as we move down here to the dinette, I get asked a lot about dinettes converting to a sleeper. These do not. Typically, if they have an angled piece here, that'll convert to the sleeper. But in your higher end coaches, let's say Dutch Star on up, you're not going to have a convertible dinette. But this does have a couple of leaves you can put in there, a couple of chairs that are stored under the bed. I'll show you in a minute. So you could seat 4 to 6 people around this dinette quite easily. Over here across from the dinette, we have our kitchen area. Now we've got some nice storage compartments. And the fact that they put this slide out makes it so much easier for shorter people to reach the items that are in the back. And again, beautiful cabinetry, all solid wood. There is no wrap styles in here. There's no pine or cottonwood. It's all maple, and they just do a beautiful job. You can get another little storage area way over here. Then underneath, here we've got a little pull-out, and there are 3 full pull-out drawers right here. Another large pull-out with all of your remotes, TV remotes. You do have a Sleep Number bed with a remote. There's remotes for the shades and everything in here. Dishwasher down below. Let me go ahead and get this back in. Here's our induction cook surface. And the Essex are using the Bosch now. Nice thing about this is you actually have 3 burners. Now this is not the model that you can take out and cook outside, but nice large 3-burner cook surface there. And even on the back of these, you get a nice cutting board. I don't think anybody ever uses these. All of our trade-ins, they seem to be in perfect shape. Okay, over here we have our undermount stainless steel double sink. And it does come with a residential type sprayer. And if you look, there's a place to store these down below. They'll actually tuck in there and hold them tight if you want to leave them down there while you're driving. Or you could use it for your range top covers. They give you area for your trash can there. Another pull out here. And these are all soft close also. Got a tiny little drawer here. It may look small, but it'll get used for knives or, you know, something in the kitchen. And then another little pull out drawer over here. Okay, this brings us back into the midsection. We do have a 19 cubic foot residential style refrigerator here. And again, with those 2 lithium ion batteries, 2 3,000 watt inverters, these refrigerators don't draw a lot of power. So, you know, if you are someplace where you're dry camping, you can go a couple of days without having to worry about running out of power. Generally, when you're in an Essex or a King Air or something like that, you're not going off the grid a bit, very far, but if you want to, you have that capability. Next to the refrigerator, we have our pantry. You've got 4 nice pull-out drawers. And then I like what they did down here. If you've got cutting boards or, you know, pots and pans, you know, cookie sheets, stuff like that, you've got a great place to store it there. You can remove these if you want to use it for, you know, storing your canned goods or things like that also. Across from your refrigerator, we have our half bathroom. Let me just open up some of these and let Jody get in to take a look around. There you go. So you can see you've got plenty of room there around your sink, a lot of counter space. It's actually quite roomy for a half bathroom. It does have a fantastic fan up there overhead. There's 3 of them throughout the coach actually. And then there over the toilet, you're looking at our breaker boxes and our fuses. And that is a porcelain toilet there. And even the way this is hinged, it's kind of unique. And I believe Newmar actually patented this. But the reason they do it that way is with your slide in, it would be kind of tight. So if you were to open the door hinged on the side here, you could only open it about yay far. Larger people might have a problem getting into the bathroom. But with this setup, the door opens all the way, so it makes it easy to access. Okay, moving back into the bedroom. First of all, we've got a little storage overhead. And they used to have a dedicated drawer for like your Blu-ray players and things like that. They're not doing that anymore. People still use satellites, but there's a lot more streaming services. You might get the Starlink, so you always have an internet connection. So they're not including Blu-rays anymore. So now you actually get 6 full drawers instead of just 5 and a place for video components. Couple more back here. And the fit and finish, the craftsmanship is just beautiful. You can see these dovetail joints here on the corner. You're not going to find that in your average motorhome. Here's our king bed. Now under the bed, we've got our couple of table leafs. And we've got the 2 matching chairs. So you can see how that dinette would expand large enough to fit 6 people around it. Each side of the bed has a pedestal with a phone charger on it. And then underneath, you have USB ports and 110 outlets. If you are using like a sleep apnea machine at night, you got a place to set it up here. But you also have, there's a plug in your overhead compartment, and you've got access to it right here. So you could put your oxygen machine or your sleep apnea machine up here, run the tubes down, keep it all out of the way if you like. And again, this cabinetry I'm really warming up to. The high gloss is looking better. Let's walk back into the bathroom here and check out some of our storage. Now, first of all, in the 4551, you get the largest shower available. And you can see the beautiful tile on the floor and throughout the walls. It's just a gorgeous looking shower. Does have the water miser system. What this does is it helps preserve your water as you're heating up for the water for a shower. It's recirculating back into the holding tank, so you're not wasting that water. Also, you're not filling your gray tank. Till this light turns red, you flip the switch, you take your shower. Now you're filling your gray tank with that shower water. Also has a removable handheld shower that you can position up here higher. A nice waterfall type shower head. Just plenty of room, you know. Even if you're 6'2", 6'3", I think you've got enough room overhead here that you're not going to be ducking down. Over here beside our shower, we've got our toilet, and one of the really nice features is this egress door that you'll find on all the Newmar diesels. Now, if I pull this tab, there's a ladder there that'll drop down. In the event of an emergency, I'd much rather be going out this way than trying to climb out a bedroom window to escape a fire or something like that. And there's no handles on the outside. This is a one-way door. You can only open it from inside. Then over here in our closet, this is one of the unique features they've been putting in this year. You've got a shoe rack here, and there's room for quite a few pairs of shoes. And guys, you can find a drawer somewhere to put your tennis shoes in. You don't need any of this. Below here, you also have a couple more storage drawers. And then on this side, you've actually got 2 bars for hanging clothes. And then over here, a lot more wardrobe area. You have 5 shelves off there to the right. And you could remove a couple of the top ones if you wanted and have more space for hanging your clothes. It's got the safe. Everybody needs that. Over here in our vanity area, nice medicine chest, and it's just nicely finished. The carpet on the shelves, you've got some 110 outlets in the back there. You also have 110 outlets on each side of the sink down here, so if you're shaving or need to plug in something to recharge it, you have plenty of places to access power. And then let me show you some of these lights in here. I really like the accent lights. Let me see, get these off. Mirror lights. So if you want, you can just turn on your mirror lights for a little bit of ambiance. You have a nice vanity light, and that's on a rheostat, so I can turn it on as bright or as dim as I want. You do get some courtesy lights down below, and then of course your main ceiling lights. So it's a really nice atmosphere in here. Roomy enough for 2 people. Plenty of storage. Then of course, the last thing we haven't looked at, over here, this compartment is access to our washer dryer. You've got your hot and cold water inputs right there below your plugs. And this is the Splendide washer dryer. Now, a lot of people also ask the question on an Essex, can I get a 220 dryer? You can't. You can only get that on a King Air. These are 110. Ooh, and then get a little more storage down below here. Nice, beautiful ceiling in all of these Newmars. They use a decorative cover here to cover up your AC vents. And the AC vents, by the way, run right down the middle. So if you're running your air conditioner while you're driving with the slides in, it's blowing down the middle where you want it, not over your slide outs on the edges. Okay, and one last thing. I want to talk about the dash a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and put these slides in so you can see what it's like when you travel. Now, the slide mechanisms on these Newmars might not be the fastest in the industry, but they're probably about the most dependable. Now, on these smaller slides, Newmar actually makes the mechanism. It's got a cogwheel that runs a slide in and out. The ones with the tile in the floor, they use a heavy-duty HWH system for that. So there's that, and you got the ottoman right behind you there, so I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. And then let me go ahead and run these in. You can see how on this main full wall slide, it lifts up few inches, and the rollers that are under there don't even touch the tile. It used to be wherever your slides went in and out, you could see a line on the carpet or on the linoleum or tile, whatever you happen to have there. I'm running both slides in right now. And there you go. And I'll just walk back here to let you see how much room you've got. If you've got a big dog, they're not going to stumble trying to get their way through. You can get through to the refrigerator, open both doors all the way. And again, you can see the beauty of this door now as it opens up. It gives me plenty of room to get into the half bathroom. Okay. Pardon me jumping around here a little bit. There's a few other things I wanted to go over real quick on the dash. Now, of course, all of the Newmar diesels are equipped with Comfort Drive. And what the Comfort Drive is, it's a computer-assisted steering setup that's constantly making corrections to keep your wheel right in the center position. If you've got a strong crosswind or a crowned road and you seem to be fighting it to keep it in the center of your lane, Newmar, the Comfort Drive is sensing that, making corrections on the wheel. You can see that with all the weight on the front tires, it comes back to center on its own. And let me drop this down a little bit. Oops. Get it down to where it's comfortable for me. Now, one thing about the Comfort Drive on the Spartans, you used to have to go through your menu. They have moved that right here, this little toggle. So I can dial up the pressure on the wheel or down if I'm, in the RV park and want to be able to turn it with one finger real easily. I'll turn it down. And like I say, it brings it back to center on its own every time. We've got our TPMS system showing that the front tires might be a little low, but they're, those usually heat up in a little bit. They'll be green also. As we scroll through this, let's get back to our home screen. One of the things I like to point out is we have air leveling in this. So what that means is I can auto level using just my airbags. Now you have to be on a fairly flat surface for that to work, but I can also set my ride height a little bit higher, or let's say I'm pulling it into a garage and I've got, real tight clearance. Maybe I want to lower that before I pull it in. Can do that right here. Let's see, get back to our home screen. And up here in our settings, there again, that's the Comfort Drive, so I could adjust it right there. And this is the way you used to have to do it, but now with it right here on the toggle, it makes it so much easier than having to scroll through. Get back to our home, get into our info, our tire pressure monitoring system, adaptive cruise control. Now press OK. I've actually got this off right now. ACC turned off. And pardon me for stumbling through this. I'm not enabling it right now. Adaptive cruise control will sense the cars in front of you as you're going down the road and actually slow you down before you get there. Let's see, what else have we got here? Air leveling, there's brightness. This is just the brightness of our screen here if we want to adjust it for day and night driving. Any ACC on guard collision mitigation system is off. Low tire pressure, so it'll give you the messages right there. So once you get comfortable with this, it's nice because it's all right here at your fingertips. Now, one of the nice things about this dash is you get two 10-inch touch screen monitors, and what I primarily use this for is my camera. So let me see, if I am looking at out my back and I want to just monitor the traffic behind me, I've probably got it set at this this level, kind of a widescreen view. If I want to keep an eye on the trailer I'm pulling, I put it on the medium view. Then if I want to hook up that trailer, I am looking straight down. So if my receiver hitch was in, I would see it right there. Makes it easy to back up exactly where you want to be on that trailer. At night, you can look at each side, look down the side, or you can put the 360 view on. You can see all the way around your motorhome right there. I'm still not quite sure how they come up with this picture. It seems kind of magical because I know there's no drone above me, but this is a nice feature. I don't use it so much when I'm driving as I do when I'm parked. So again, dual 10-inch monitors, heated and cooled seats, extremely comfortable. And this, let me get this up out of the way. There we go. Our tilt and our telescope are right here. Over on this side, our pedals, you can see they will go in and out. So, you know, somebody taller, probably going to have them back farther and move the seat back. I need them a little bit closer so I can bring the pedals to me. And then you do have 3 settings here for different drivers. So once I've get my mirrors, my pedals, my seat adjusted, I can program it into 1, 2, or 3. Then every time I get in, just hit the button, it sets it up for me. And then over here on the passenger side, I call this the grandmother seat because you used to be able to sit here with 2 people, but it's actually just the extra wide seat. They do both have the heating and the cooling effect to them. I do have a footrest here. Now the driver footrest will only work when it's turned around. And then one last feature that's really nice is over here, I've got another screen. Oops, there we go. So I can get in here and monitor my cameras from the driver's side right here. I can get into my navigation right there, get into my radio and so forth. It's nice to have this screen because it means the driver doesn't have to do all the navigating. And of course, there's always a cover for the step. Well, we've got a couple of things that aren't quite dialed in yet, but that step comes up to the same level as your floor so you don't fall down that hole. So once again, this is a 2023 Essex 4551 model. We've got a few Essex, a few King Airs in. If you've ever thought about getting a high-end motorhome, give us a call. Come on down and check it out. Maybe take one for a drive. There's nothing like this 605 horse, especially driving around Colorado's mountains. So please reach out to us if you have any questions. Once again, my name's Mark Love. Drive careful when you're out there. It seems like summer's in full swing. Happy trails, my friends, and we will see you next time.